I will never forget the day Papa Okon's chicken slapped Chief Ibe with its wings during a family meeting. I swear I'm not mad. The village square was full of noise and heat, and we were gathered there because of, wait for it, my relationship drama. Imagine a whole community stopping market day because Gen Z children don't know how to stay married the traditional way. My boyfriend and I, me, Nkechi, the unbothered, and him, Femi, the soft boy, had just broken up again. This was the 5th time, but this time we did it online, in public, with Instagram stories. And somehow, it got to my dad in the village, who then gathered the entire council of elders plus their livestock to intervene. That chicken, it just symbolized everything. Madness. But let me back up. Our African parents meant well, like really well. They just didn't understand how relationships work for us anymore. For them, marriage was duty. Your husband cheats, you cook more pepper soup. Your wife shouts, you marry a second one and tell her to adjust. But me, I wanted love, soft love, communication, and freedom to dye my hair pink on a Wednesday. Femi wanted peace too, but not the same kind. He wanted peace and respect like his grandfather had from 3 wives and 20 children. It's not that we didn't love each other, we just didn't know how to do it the same way. So when the chicken flew across the table and whacked Chief Ibe, who was shouting at me to kneel down and apologize, I knew this story was no longer just ours. After that chicken slapping incident, we were basically village TV. Every compound, from Mama Dogo's pap shed to the boy sitting by the corner playing draft, had an opinion about our love life. Old women would call me spirited like it was an insult. And the uncles kept saying, no wonder she no fit stay with mom. See how she wear trouser. Like trousers were the real enemy here. People started coming from other villages to witness the family meeting. I even saw one guy recording on Snapchat. I swear on Amala, we were trending in places that didn't even have electricity. My dad, Baba Nkem, was sweating with pride and shame. He kept shouting, my daughter must marry like a proper Igbo girl. Meanwhile, my mom kept muttering prayers under her breath, like my relationship status could invite demons. Femi's people, his aunties blamed me for making him soft and not cooking enough bitter leaf soup. One even said it was my Twitter feminism that destroyed him. I was exhausted. But somehow, under all this chaos, I realized something. No one cared how we felt. This wasn't about our love anymore. It was about saving face. And saving face in an African family, that's harder than resurrecting a yam harvest after locusts. Look, let me just confess now before God and the gods of roasted plantain. I was still talking to Femi. Yes, we broke up. Yes, the village thought we were enemies. But also, I missed him. And he still sent me memes at 2 a.m. Even the night before the council meeting, he texted, babe, don't forget to wear earrings. You know Chief Ibe hates bud ears. I laughed in my wrapper like a fool. That's the problem with love in this Gen Z life. It doesn't respect boundaries. You block someone, they email you. You unfriend them, they Venmo you 1 naira with I miss you as the caption. We were broken up, but we were not done. Not even close. The madness was still ongoing though. My dad was planning corrective fasting. His own words, not mine. Apparently, my refusal to marry properly had to be a spiritual attack. Meanwhile, my mom kept cooking as if I was getting married the next day, smiling with sadness in her eyes like a Nollywood mother. And in all this, Femi would just take something like, can we sneak out and eat in Nkwobi tonight? I would reply, you know your mother is watching me like CCTV. It was wild. The entire village thought we were war enemies, but behind the curtains, we were a soft, confused mess of love and ego and bad decisions. I wanted him, but I wanted him to change. He wanted me, but wanted me quiet. And between us was one wholly confused chicken. I swear, sometimes I wonder if love is a ghost. Like 1 minute it's holding you in the dark, and the next minute it's floating above you laughing while everyone else tells your story. After the oracle said, "The truth is still loading," Femi and I agreed to go full ghost mode. Cold. No eye contact, no late night meme reactions. We even staged a fake fight in front of the elders. Femi shouted something about, "I don't want toxic women." I clapped back with, "Your beard doesn't even connect." Everyone gasped. My mom fainted. His uncle hissed so loudly a baby cried. It was perfect. The village thought the breakup was finally sealed by disgrace. But in reality, we were just in our burner accounts, texting like school kids hiding from prefects. I had 2 phones now. One for tradition, one for vibes. Every night I would curl up under my wrapper and read messages like, "Babe, I hate this village, but I love your stubborn face." And I would reply with, "Stop it, fool. I miss you too, Sha." But the thing about secrets is that they're never really locked. Especially not in Africa houses, where privacy is a myth and everybody has 10 cousins sleeping in the same room. That's how Ada, my light-skinned, quiet cousin from my mother's side, started acting weird. I caught her staring at my phone one night, not even blinking. Then she started asking random questions like, "Do you still talk to Femi?" I laughed it off. Poor thing, she didn't know anything. But something about her tone felt sticky, like mango juice that drips on your finger and refuses to wipe clean. I didn't know it yet, but Ada wasn't just being nosy. She was holding a ticking bomb behind her smile. I didn't even clock it at first. Ada was just Ada, my cousin from Unugu, who always drank her tea with too much sugar and liked whispering gossip into pillows. She had been staying with us for 2 months now, saying she needed peace of mind away from city noise. But now, I think maybe she came for my noise. At first, she seemed innocent. She'd braid my hair while humming old love songs and ask me if I missed Femi. I told her no, because pride. Then I told her yes, because pain. And she just nodded like a good confidant. I even showed her some of the secret texts. That's how deep the trust went. I was busy pouring out my broken heart, not knowing she was collecting the pieces like debt receipts. One night, I caught her watching Femi's TikTok videos. I asked her, "You dey crush on my ex or what?" She just laughed and said, "No, I beg. I'm just curious how you fell for him in the first place." I chuckled. But now, if I rewind that memory in my head, her laugh wasn't smooth. It was cracked, shaky, like someone trying to dance while hiding a sprained ankle. She started going for night walks too. Weird ones. She'd say, "I need fresh air," but come back smelling like roasted corn and heartbreak. I should have known. I really should have. But my head was full of Femi and our broken situationship, and Ada was the one person I thought I could be messy with. So I let her hold my secrets. And while she held them, she used them to stab me where it would hurt the most. The meeting that day was louder than usual. There was too much palm wine, too many loud uncles, and the chicken had started limping mysteriously. I sat with my arms crossed, trying not to make eye contact with Femi across the courtyard. We were still playing the public game, broken up, cold, over it. But inside, my phone buzzed with a message. "Today is one of those days I just want to hold you, even if the whole world hates us." I smiled, briefly, then quickly wiped it off my face. Nobody must know. Not with my mother sitting beside me whispering psalms and my father chewing cola nuts like they owed him money. I looked around, half bored, half dreaming of leaving this entire drama behind, when suddenly, I saw a shadow at the entrance. A familiar walk, wide steps, bare feet. I squinted. It was Ada, my cousin, wearing a big yellow wrapper, belly, round, pregnant belly. She wasn't even trying to hide it. She just walked into the middle of the circle like a spirit that no longer feared humans. Everyone turned, mouths opened, time paused. The chicken squawked once and ran. And Ada, She looked me in the eye and said, "I know I wasn't invited, but since we're talking about Femi, maybe it's time I speak too." Femi's head snapped so fast, I thought his neck would crack. My mouth went dry. The uncles gasped in unison like one choir. Then she said the words that broke me. "I'm carrying his child." Not "we had a thing," not "we made a mistake." She said it like a crown, like she'd won. My cousin, my blood, my heartbreak's replacement. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stood up, picked up my slippers and walked straight out of that courtyard barefoot, like I was leaving my body behind. And maybe I was. I ran, not dramatically at first, just enough to leave their voices behind. But the faster my feet moved, the louder my chest got. By the time I reached the edge of the cassava farms, I was running like something was chasing me, but really, it was just everything. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't care. I just knew I couldn't stay there, listening to people debate my pain like it was politics. I ran till my legs gave up, then collapsed beside a tree. And for the first time since this whole mess started, I cried. Not cute tears, ugly ones, full body ones, the kind that choke you and make your nose run and your breath break into pieces. I cried for the girl who trusted her cousin, for the girl who thought love was enough, for the girl who was taught to shrink, to forgive, to be a good woman. I cried because I was exhausted. Everyone expected me to be so strong, but what if I didn't want to be strong today? What if I just wanted someone to say, "This was wrong, you didn't deserve it"? I spent the night under the open sky. No phone, no pillow, just me and a wrapper I tied tighter around myself every time the wind tried to open me up. I thought about leaving the village forever. But then I remembered something Femi's aunt once said. Women who run from shame only leave room for more shame. So I came back, not to explain, not to beg, but to speak. And this time, they were going to hear me whether they liked it or not. When I returned, they acted like nothing had happened. Just murmurs and stares, no apologies, no real conversations, just whispers like, "At least she's back," and "her mother must have spoken to her spirit." I didn't argue. I just sat, ate my food, said good morning like I was raised properly. That's what confused them the most. I was too calm. So they came up with a solution. The elders called it the love task. 3 days, 1 hut. Me and Femi, no phones, no distractions. Just cooking together, bathing from the same basin, sleeping on the same mat. To rekindle what the devil tried to destroy. I almost laughed, but I nodded. I said, okay. Because sometimes, the best way to show people the truth is to let them see the life fall apart on its own. The first day, Femi tried to crack jokes. I smiled politely and asked him to pass the salt. We cooked jollof rice. He said it reminded him of our second date. I said, On day 2, he tried to talk deeper, said he missed my laugh. I said, oh. At night, we lay side by side. Not talking, not touching, just breathing like strangers who once shared a dream. On the 3rd day, the elders came, clapping, smiling, congratulating themselves. The house is at peace. Love has returned. And that's when I stood up slowly, looked every single one of them in the eye, and dropped it. So, I should swallow pain just because I'm used to it. They froze, mouths open. No one moved. I continued, calmly. This is not healing. It's pretending. You didn't fix us. You just forced us to smile through it. Then I looked at Femi. You broke me. And you wanted me to break again just to protect your reputation. And just like that, their peace burned down, not in fire, but in truth. The elders couldn't say anything after I spoke. No proverb could touch what I said. No riddle could twist it. So they did what most people do when they run out of arguments. They accepted the silence and moved on. Or tried to. Within a week, Femi and Ada were officially married. Small ceremony, no noise, just rushed bread price and a few fake smiles. My mother didn't attend, neither did I. In their minds, the situation had been resolved. The woman was pregnant, the man was guilty, so marriage was the solution. Like always, patch it with tradition and pretend love will grow later. But even I knew that tree was already dry.
Femi took Ada to a small apartment in the city. New wife, new chapter. Except nothing about it felt new. 3 months later, I got the message from a mutual friend. Did you hear? Ada moved out. I blinked at the screen for a while. Not shocked, just curious. Turns out, she couldn't stay. The house was cold. The love was heavy. Femi thought marrying her meant the world owed him peace. But Ada, sharp as ever, didn't settle for being a punishment wife. She packed her bags one afternoon, left a note, and disappeared. The next time I saw her picture, she was smiling on Instagram, baby on her hip, sitting beside a man I'd never seen before. A real smile, not forced, not borrowed. And even though she betrayed me, a small part of me whispered, good for her. Femi? He stayed in that same apartment, same couch, same silence. And maybe for the first time, he realized that having someone doesn't mean you deserve them. I wasn't looking for love anymore. Not seriously. I had found my peace, real peace, and I was holding on to it with both hands. But funny how life works. Sometimes when you stop begging, the thing you were crying for shows up. Without drama, without warnings. His name was Somto. Just Somto. No emotional baggage, no confusing ex, no family drama that needed cleansing. He saw me at a friend's wedding. I was laughing over a badly fried puff-puff, and he said, "You laugh like someone who's done healing." I loved her there. We talked for an hour, then 2, then 5, and that was the beginning. Not of a movie, not of a fantasy, just of something real, solid, gentle.
Somto didn't try to fix me. He just made space. He asked questions. He listened. He told me every day, you are not too much. You are just enough for the right person. And for once, I believed it. No pretending, no surviving, no managing, just love that came with rest. The kind of love that doesn't need explanation. The kind I thought didn't exist for women like me. Women with history, with scars, with sharp mouths and soft hearts. We didn't rush. We didn't post everything. We just grew. And somewhere in between late night talks and small acts of kindness, I knew this wasn't a rebound. This wasn't a fix. This was home. Sometimes I sit under the mango tree near my new place. Not too big, not too fancy, just mine. And I think about how far I've come. How I once thought love was endurance. How I almost married shame because I didn't want to be labeled difficult. I think about that chicken that slapped Chief Ibe, about the elders who tried to fix me like a broken calabash, about the 3 days of pretending beside a man who loved my silence more than my voice. I think of Ada. I think of forgiveness. I think of how healing doesn't always come with an audience. Sometimes it comes slowly, quietly, over cups of tea and nights of sleeping without fear. I didn't end up with the man they picked. I didn't end up where they pushed me. I ended up in peace, the kind you earn after choosing yourself again and again. And yes, love found me. A better love. A love that doesn't rush or demand. But even if it hadn't, I'd still be okay. Because I stopped looking for completion in another person. I became whole by myself in my own time. And maybe that's the biggest twist of all. That a girl from a noisy village told to kneel, stay, and shrink, stood up, walked away, and built a life louder than any wedding drum. And that is a happy ending too. But now I want to ask you, yes you, watching this at this time, like it's a video note from your bestie. Have you ever been told to stay in something that didn't serve you just because it was familiar? Do you believe love without pain is still love? What would you tell Nkechi if she were your friend? Drop your answers in the comments. I want to hear your truth. And if this story made you feel something, laugh, scream, cry, or think, then go ahead and subscribe, share, and hit that like button. Don't ghost me, oh, you've come this far.